All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless me here talking about real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. All right, going to be talking about this ongoing David Lee Roth, Wolfgang Van Halen feud, another slow news day here in the world of dying classic rock. Wolfgang Van Halen, of course, not a classic rock artist, kind of an alt power pop rock alternative thing that he does. I don't know. I'm doing a lot of hand motions like this. I don't know. So here is Blackberry Smoke. Be right here. Here's some classic rock. You want to cleanse the palate? Okay. And I know I've got a lot of melodic rock fans over here. I don't have as many Southern rock fans. Look, in the old days, you had like Aerosmith, and you had like Night Ranger, and you had like Journey, and you had like Leonard Skinner. Okay, in the old days, those bands could coexist. So, I am a huge fan of quality Southern rock, and this is it. All right, I keep promoting this because it's so darn good. Blackberry Smoke, be right here. It's everything you want in a classic rock album and a little bit more. And you can order it. I've been putting links in the videos, product suggestions, and I'll try to remember to do one for this one as well. So you can order the new Blackberry Smoke, grab yourself a CD copy. Now, Wolfgang Van Halen has this song out. It's called I'm All Right. And apparently, according to a New York radio host, this song is kind of like your little middle finger to all of the naysayers. The little middle finger. Okay. Anyway, and I got to give you mad props, man. Being from New York, we know how to hold our own and how to get back at people. Yeah, because that's a quality, right, that we all want to celebrate. Has anyone noticed in politics? Let's go off on a tangent, right? Go swerving right out of the lane. We are just about insults, about owning the other side. That's all we do now. Oh, I really owned those guys. What are they going to do now that I've owned them? Well, they're going to keep doing what you don't like, because the only way to really defeat this is to vote against it, not just to own it with a meme. So, yeah, this song is like a meme. It's a middle finger to all of the naysayers, the people that don't like Wolfgang Van Halen. This interview, by the way, can be heard over at 94.3 The Shark, where we eat up, we devour all of the good music, and we've replaced it with crap. After the host mentioned the song being a middle finger to the naysayers, Wolfgang Van Halen nodded while smiling. Yes, you figured it out. Good for you, radio host. Considering the fact that he hasn't responded to David Lee Roth's attacks on social media, this could be one way to end it. Yeah, I don't think the feud is going to end. Here's why. David Lee Roth, well, this is all he's got going on right now. And so he's got all of this great material. He's got the stream of consciousness Roth show ranting ability, where he just goes off on a topic, and it's very entertaining. Whereas Wolfie is on Twitter swatting away people who are saying, hey, you want to distance yourself from your father's legacy? Well, don't call yourself Mammoth WVH. By the way, Mammoth, again, I keep saying this, and nobody seems to get where I'm going with this. The word mammoth is not a good word when you put it together with Wolfgang Van Halen. Just putting it out there. I've tried this a couple of times. Nobody seems to understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm not going to try anymore to explain this. So I think Roth, when he did his This Crazy Kid video, which I thought was really entertaining, even though it was being critical. But what's weird is nobody responded to it and said, this isn't true. He's making all this stuff up. No. Look, Dave is describing, Van Halen world in those days. By the way, he also talked about how Wolf's uncle and dad were also likely to stiff people when it came to the tickets they were supposed to get, whereas Roth apparently was the generous one and was giving tickets to very important people who apparently had checks, they had money for Wolfie and the rest of the band, and apparently Wolfie threw them out. Not the checks, well, the people and the checks. So I don't know. So Roth, to me, really won that battle, or at least exposed this and got it out there so people can understand how dysfunctional this whole thing is. Now, what's interesting, Alex Van Halen, he has a book coming out in October, an autobiography. And so we'll see if he includes any of this kind of stuff in there. I think he'll probably take the high road. Whereas, David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar, they're never going to just forget about all this stuff. They're going to put everything out there and let people decide about who is right and who is wrong. It just seems there's a lot of dysfunction here. There is a lot of dysfunction within Van Halen world. And, it is what it is at this point. I really thought, when Eddie passed away, that Wolfie could do two things at once. He could honor his dad's legacy, and he could also build his own career. And what he's been doing, talking about the middle finger, is he's been mostly giving the middle finger to diehard fans of his dad and Van Halen. There's no reason Wolfgang Van Halen couldn't step into the role as lead guitarist for a reconstituted VH, okay? He's in WVH. I don't know why he couldn't just step in there and do that. And again, a majority of people are going to say, well, that's kind of sacrilegious. And I've done this video before where if people are buying tickets to go see the Eagles, they have one original member. Same thing with Steely Dan. One original member, both of whom are hanging on, but they're keeping the thing going. And of course, with the Eagles, you have other longtime members who are still there, but with Steely Dan, you have nobody. Now, with Van Halen, you could have Alex and Dave and Michael Anthony, and then Wolfie, or you could switch out Dave with Sammy, and you would have a fairly legitimate band. And this, according to Sammy Hagar, he said this. And other people have mentioned, hey, yeah, this guy is a shredder, right? Rick Beato, I think, did a video talking about how amazing Wolfgang Van Halen is as a guitarist. So why hide your talent under a bushel or under a rock or whatever? Trying to use a parable here. Don't hide it under a rock. Put it out there so people can see it. Now, I get it. His main goal in life is to distance himself from his father and create his own legacy and not piggyback on his dad. Well, you called the band WVH, so you've already piggybacked, okay? And again, I've said this in other videos, the word mammoth is probably not a good word to use if you're Wolfgang Van Halen, but nobody seems to get this. Look, what is it? The horse is already out of the barn there. The marketing is out there. The name ID is now out there, but you definitely used the WVH thing along with the word mammoth. And so, hey, that's your tribute to your dad, but that's certainly not, doing your own thing completely. That's using something that was already there and jumping on top of that and reaching up higher, which is fine. It's fine. But it would be cool if maybe you did some actual VH stuff as well. You could do your own thing. We're not going to stop you. You're real popular in certain circles, alternative rock and so forth. Not my cup of tea. I don't think it's bad music. It's just I'd rather listen to something like this, just because I'm a geezer and I want to hear some geezer music, I guess. I don't know. But look, this feud will continue. David Lee Roth has nothing better to do at this point, and he's very entertaining, and I'm sure he has a few more stories. This might be the first of many stories. And just a little side note here is Wolfgang Van Halen hasn't refuted or debunked any of this stuff. So, maybe the kid was a bit of a problem when he was in Van Halen. Of course, when I'm 15 years old and I'm in a world famous rock band, what am I thinking? I'm scared, probably, right? I'm really scared. I'm just going to do my own thing. But if he's angry, I mean, later on when they did the second tour and I think he was, I don't know how old he was at that point, but if he's complaining or whatever that he's not getting any attention in the band, you got to remember who else is in the band. Your dad was still in the band. David Lee Roth, one of the greatest frontmen in the history of rock bands, even though he's a little crazy. And I think you have to be a little crazy to be a great frontman. People are going to be focused on him. They're going to want to see if he falls off the stage or he breaks his nose or he can hit any of these notes that he used to be able to hit. I think that's going to be the focus. And I don't know. I would just be in the corner somewhere trying to make sure that I play the bass correctly. And anyway, that's not how it went down. So just another video, another riveting video about the Roth and Wolfgang feud. Here is Blackberry Smoke. One more time. Be right here. I'm featuring it all week. I'm here all week. Don't forget to try the veal. Tip your bartenders and waitresses. Even better than doing that, go order a copy of this. I will put a product link in the video for this. You can order it, have it shipped right to your door. I had a patron who said to me, I don't like Southern rock. I heard this and I immediately ordered it. It was that good. So there you go. If you wanted something new for your collection, that's a no-brainer. Like this channel, it's kind of a no-brainer. See, there's, it's just, you got to point to your head and say, yeah, I'm really, really smart. And then you become really, really smart. Thanks for watching, folks. Pray for our country. Pray for the tribes in this country to come to their senses and to do some things for the American people. Also, pray for peace in the Middle East. And just pray for peace in your own heart, as there are a lot of crazy things going on in the world. And it's easy to get wrapped up in those things and think that everybody is out to get you. But I'm pretty sure life probably isn't as bad as you think. That is my optimistic sign off here today. God bless. See you soon.